Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I have just started picking up the stitches on the neck for Janet's cardigan. And you know, I have to use 4.5 millimeter needles. I've been using 5 millimeter for the body, but I need 4.5 for the neck. And I knew I had a pair of Zing 4.5. Now I've hunted all my needles. I have 3 bags with needles in. I've hunted all the bags and I cannot find it. Then I suddenly realised it's on the cardigan. They're in the cardigan that I am knitting for myself for about a year now. So I have a pair of these are Bates. Bates, I think. Yes, Bates. Hard to see. I actually have the old size 7 on these ones. These were sent to me by Dagry in the United States. They actually have the old size 7 on the needle. So anyway, I'm starting to pick the stitches up for the neck on Janet's cardigan because I have to get this done. I'll just put that down in a minute. I have been doing a lot of coasters, the Jubilee coasters lately. Well, I have one set. This is one set I did yesterday. It was all I had time for yesterday because I was at my granddaughter's with and I was doing some babysitting because Craig had an appointment at the Dole, and then he had to take, after school, he had to take Frankie to, Cheryl was working, so he had to take Frankie to, he goes for weightlifting. And then he went from there to pick Cheryl up from work, so I was looking after the other 2 most of the, looking after one first, little lady, and then the other 2. And I could have killed them by the time the mum and dad got home, like. But so I started these there yesterday, and that was all I had time. After by the time I came home and that, and I didn't really fancy sitting crocheting because I wanted to watch the telly. So I got one set done. Now these, I've been making them the last few days or the last couple of weeks, and as soon as they go up on eBay, they're sold. In fact, some of them, they weren't even on 5 minutes and they were gone. But I think the novelty's starting to wear off now because I've had these up since last night and nobody's bothered. So I am not going to do any more unless these ones sell. If these sell, I'll do another set and I'll wait until they sell. But I'm not doing any more after Monday anyway because of the postage. If I do sell any, I would have to sell them on the Monday, and for the postage for them to get them in time for the Jubilee. So that could be the last set I'm doing. So anyway, last night I got back to my knitting, and I did finish my friend's cardigan. I'll show you. I did finish her little cardigan off, and I sent her a picture of it to let her see it was finished so I'd get no more messages of her. And I do like the little buttons. It was her, she supplied the buttons for them too, the little spotty buttons. But it's for her great granddaughter, and I think she said it's a school colour. But she's only 3.5. She's only the same age as my my youngest great grandson Eddie. So it's probably a nursery school thing, like. So anyway, I finished it and I made it look a little bit better than it was when I got it off her. But she's only done about 8 inches from here up to the armholes. I would have done at least 9.5 inches for a 24-inch. That'll not last her very long. But hey, they grow that quick anyway. The clothes don't last them long anyway. So that's sorted for tonight. And I thought last night, I thought I'm going to do some knitting, but I didn't get much knitting done, but I did do a little bit of this one that I'm going to do a tutorial on. I did do a little bit of that one, but I have started the tutorial. I'm going to do it in little bits of video when I can and join the bits together. So I've done one little bit to show from the start and how to do the pattern. When I get up to the armholes, I'll be doing a little bit more and carry on up to the neck and then the rest of the bit. So I did a little bit of that last night, but I still have this one, this little one. This is an order, this little one. I've still got this little one to finish, so I'll probably get around to that one. But I do want to get Janet's done because it's getting a little bit over time for it now and that. But I did go for a walk this morning. I thought I need a little bit of exercise because I'm sitting here knitting and that and the weight's just piling on me. So I thought I'd do a little bit exercise and just went for a walk. Just half an hour. And there's a lot of tracks around the back of where I live. There's a cycle path called the Reavers Cycle Path, and just a lot of other tracks. I mean, I used to walk around those tracks years ago before they were proper cycle paths and they were just dirt tracks, you know. Well, there was one or two horses, you know, only because the smell of the manure, and that reminded me years ago. Not long after we moved into this house, me and my husband, we always grew our own vegetables. Everything in the garden, almost of the garden was taken up for grown vegetables and that. And we used to walk around the tracks. We used to have an old, one of those wheelie things, you know, the trolley wheel for carrying your shopping in, you know, one of those trolley bag things, the wheels of it. We had one of those and an old, one of those plastic tubs that, good size one, you know, about this wide and about this deep, and we used to use those bungee straps and fasten it to the wheels on this trolley thing. And we used to walk around the tracks collecting all the horse manure for to put in the garden and that, you know. It was good for growing things, especially your potatoes. And anyway, we came home. I remember coming home this day and one of my neighbours that I had next door at the time, I've had quite a few neighbours on both sides of me, but this neighbour that was there when we first moved in, Violet her name was, she was a right stuck up so. She seen us coming in the garden with the trolley, and we shoveling it out, and I was making a trench in the garden for I was going to make a trench and put the manure in, put some soil on top, put some potatoes in. And she come out and she says, "Sheila, what are you doing?" I says, "I'm putting the manure in the garden, growing potatoes." She says, "But it stinks." I says, "Well, I know it stinks, Violet. It is horse's manure." She never liked it. She used to complain every time. She said to my husband one time, we came in with the trolley, "What you doing? What's that you've got? What you doing with that?" And he says, "Well, I'm going to have it on a plate by next to my dinner. It'll be a side dish for my dinner." Like, you know, he used to wind her up something rotten like... she knew, you know, we knew she was stuck up, and she knew she was stuck up, you know, like, but anyway, we used to grow all the vegetables, and I used a lot of, I had like compost bins as well, you know, where we saved all the veg, potato peelings, cabbage leaves, and anything, you know, that could go into the compost bins and that. And I think the very first time we collected the horse manure, my son was there, my youngest son. He was helping, you know, doing things in the garden. I think he was about 15 or something like that at the time. And he started doing a trench in the garden to put the potatoes in. You know, I was putting the horse manure in, and he says, "What are you doing with that, Mum?" Well, I says, "I'm putting it in the trench for the potatoes, you know, help them grow." And he says, "You mean them potatoes are grown in horses?" Well, I'll not see what he said, I'll just say horses muck. And I says, "Well, yes, that's good for them." He says, "I am not eating anything that's grown in horses muck." "Oh," I says, "You're not, or you're not?" I says, "Well, you'll have to go and buy your own potatoes and cook them yourself, because," I says, "we are all having these ones." Like. There was another day, I think I had been picking some of the veg out the garden with some cauliflower, and we'd done a Sunday dinner, and we had the cauliflower with the dinner, and it was my oldest son Mark. He said, was sitting eating the dinner, and all of a sudden he held his fork up with something stuck on the end of the fork, and he says, "Ma'am, is this extra protein?" I said, "What are you talking about?" Who's a caterpillar? I usually, put them in cold water and anything, in case there's anything in, and usually they float up to the top, anything, but must have missed this one. Like, he was every time we had anything out the garden, any vegetables, broccoli or cauliflower or anything like that, he was always sifting through it before he ate it. he just threw it out and ate the rest of the dinner. Didn't bother him. But the youngest son, Ian, he was sitting looking, and I think he really checked every single thing on his plate after that. But that's, a lot of you gardeners will know that manure is good for your garden. And like I'm said to my youngest son, Ian, I says, "What do you think these potatoes that we buy are grown in?" I says, "The fields." I says, "They plant them in was usually cow's muck or anything they can get, like that. It's not just the fertilizer stuff. It's it's fresh stuff, like." That's what the grow things in the fields that you buy. But I says, you don't complain about eating them, do you? But that's kids for you, I mean, the same lad now, he's, he laughs when we talk about it. He says, "I was stupid, wasn't I, Mum?" I says, "Yes, that's not the word I called you, like, but..." But anyway, that was my little bit. I'm getting back to my knitting today because I'm going out tonight to my bingo. And like I showed you that little girl's cardigan, this is the last Thursday I'm seeing my friend for 2 weeks. She's going to be away for 2 Thursdays, so it'll be the third. It'll be actually 3 weeks before I see her again. And I think that was why she was always on at me about this cardigan all the time, because she wanted it to give to her. It's her grandson's daughter that she wanted it to give to her before she went away on holiday, and then she was frightened I wasn't going to finish it. But she knows me. She should know that if I say I'll have something done by a certain time, it'll be done by a certain time. So that's one thing settled anyway. So I'll be away out 6:30 tonight. So I'm going to get the neck put on Janet's cardigan, and then I can start sewing it up, because this one has, when you pick the stitches up, when you come to the sleeve, you pick the stitches up on the front, and then I'll have the sleeve. But I have to take, before I put the back on, I have to knit 2 stitches together, one from the sleeve and one from the back of the neck. Those 2 stitches together. So I thought I'd better do the neck first before I sew the raglings up, because it might be a little bit funny. I think that's what I did the last time when I did the other couple of cardigans I've done like this. So anyway, hopefully I'll get it sewn up before I go out, and then maybe tomorrow get the bands put on. So I think Janet's waited long enough for this. It's going to get done, because like I'm saying, I'm not doing any more coasters unless the other ones sell. But I have put a lot of cotton ones up that Emma sent to me. I have put those on eBay, and I'm just selling all of them for £3.50, the same as the acrylic ones. I'm not charging any more for the cotton, because it's not it wasn't my cotton, it wasn't my work, and I'm not going to make money out of somebody's hard work. So they're just up for £3.50 if anybody's interested in the cotton, the little flower pattern. You just look on eBay. My eBay link will be in my description box anyway. So now I'm going to get back to this before I don't talk too long, or I'll not get nothing done. So a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you another time. So bye for now.